Today we are going to learn about conditions and warranties. Already we have studied what is condition and what is warranty. Condition and warranty both are the stipulation in a contract of sale. Okay, with reference to goods which are subject thereof may be a condition or a warranty. So what is the definition of condition? Condition is a stipulation, essential. It is very essential to the main purpose of the contract. The breach of condition will give rise to the breach of contract. Are you getting? So obviously contract will be repudiated by the party who is the, you can say, sufferer. That person will repudiate the contract. And what is warranty? Warranty is also the stipulation, but that is not more essential for the main purpose of the contract. That is secondary one. That is collateral to the main purpose of the contract. So breach of warranty will not be treated as a breach of contract. It can give a right to the sufferer to claim for the damages only, but he cannot reject the goods or treat the contract as a repudiated. If you studied these two definitions, definitely you will come to know the difference between condition and warranty. So the next slide, it shows the definition, the difference between condition and warranties. Okay. The first point of difference is nature. What is the nature of condition and what is the nature of warranty? Condition is of a fundamental nature because condition is very essential. It is very essential part of any contract. But warranty is a subsidiary of inferior character because it is a secondary to the contract. Breach of warranty will not give rise to the breach of contract, but the breach of condition gives rise to the breach of contract. And that's why I am again telling you, condition of the contract is a fundamental nature, but warranty is having the secondary nature or the subsidiary nature. The second point of this condition and warranty difference is value. Condition is essential to the main purpose of the contract. The main purpose of the contract cannot be fulfilled without the prior fulfillment of this stipulation. Okay, I would like to give one example. The buyer has an intention to buy the horse, and his intention is to buy that horse for the race purpose. And the condition is that he is saying that he is requesting the seller, I want the horse which is having the speed of 40 km per hour. Means that horse should run 40 km per hour. That is the condition. And suppose the seller is selling the horse which is lame, which cannot run even. Just leave it 40 km, but it cannot run 1 km per hour. So this is called as a breach of condition because the main purpose of the contract is not serving here. The buyer's value or buyer why is purchasing that particular horse, the main purpose is to just use it for the race. And his condition is that the horse should run 40 km per hour. But seller is selling the horse which is lame, which cannot walk even. Okay, so this is called as a breach of condition. Anytime the buyer may reject that horse, he can repudiate the contract because there is a breach of condition itself. Now just have a look over this warranty. Warranty is only collateral to the main purpose of the contract. This is the secondary to the main purpose of the contract. Fulfillment of the main purpose of the contract means the horse is running 40 kilometers per hour. That is the condition, and seller has sold the goods which runs 40 kilometers per hour. So this condition is fulfilled. But instead of just giving the delivery of that horse to Mirrors, the seller has given the delivery of that horse to Sangli. So what is the difference? Whatever the transportation cost of the Sangli and Mirrors, that is only the damage to the buyer. He can claim that damage, but he cannot reject the contract. Are you getting? So this is the breach of warranty. breach of warranty never give the right to the buyer to repudiate the contract. But breach of condition always gives the right to the buyer to repudiate the contract. Are you getting? The third point is breach. Again and again, I am telling you, if there is a breach of condition, the aggrieved party, the sufferer party can repudiate the contract. Who is the sufferer party here? If the breach of condition is by the seller, the aggrieved party will be the buyer. Are you getting? Aggrieved party will be the buyer. So buyer can repudiate the contract. In case of breach of warranty, the aggrieved party, that is the buyer, can claim only damages, but he or she cannot reject the contract. Are you getting? So this is the third point of the breach of contract. Now the fourth point, that is the treatment. What treatment will be given for the breach of condition or breach of warranty? A breach of condition may be treated as a breach of warranty. So obviously the higher, see, condition is at the higher level, okay, and warranty is at the secondary level. So breach of condition is obviously treated as a breach of warranty. This would happen where the aggrieved party is contained with the damages only. But the breach of warranty cannot be treated as a breach of condition. This is, so again I am repeating, breach of condition is treated as a breach of warranty, but breach of warranty will not be treated as a breach of condition. Now, the fourth and the last point of difference between the condition and warranty, that is explained with this particular example. You just concentrate on this illustration, so we'll come to know that. X sells the foodstuffs to Y. X is the seller here and Y is the buyer. The contract between X and Y states that the foodstuffs should be fit for consumption. So what is the implied condition? Condition as to fitness. Already we have studied this. Condition as to fitness. So the food must be fit for the health. Are you getting? Fit for the consumption. This is the essential condition in the contract. If it contains any poisonous substance, I had given one example you. The milk was having the typhoid germs. So this is, milk is not fit for the health. Milk is not capable to consume. Are you getting? Okay. We will come to the example. X sells the foodstuff. So when we utter the word foodstuff, obviously these are the edible. Okay, edible foodstuffs, any food item. The contract between X and Y, it states that the food to be sold should be fit for consumption. Consumption, because these are the food items, may be potable or edible. This is the essential term in the contract. It should not be written. It is implied condition that whatever the seller is selling the foodstuffs, those must be consumable. Those should not have any poisonous substance in the foodstuffs. So if the Y, that is the buyer, found any poisonous substance in that, then definitely he can reject the foodstuff and he can repudiate, cancel the contract, because the essential term, the essential condition is what? Those should be fit for consumption. If those are having the poisonous atom in that or poisonous substance in that, are the goods consumable? Are the foods consumable? The answer is no. So this is the breach of condition. Here the buyer can reject and buyer can repudiate, buyer can cancel the contract. Are you getting? Because breach of condition gives rise to the breach of contract, and he can ask for the, already he's cancelled the contract, but he can ask for the damages also. Are you getting? Because he has rejected the contract. Why he rejected? Because the foodstuffs are not consumable. The foodstuffs are having poisonous substance in that. Are you getting? Those are not fit to consume. So this is the breach of condition. Now come to the another column. On the other hand, if the contract stipulates that the foodstuff should be packed in 1 kg box, the foodstuff should be in the 1 kg box. Are you getting? But the seller packs in half kg. Half kg. Same quality is there, same color is there, same taste is there as per the order. But the thing is that the packing differs. Packing is in the two different packages. The buyer's demand was to pack in 1 kg, but seller has packed in the half kg. Only an auxiliary or the minor term of the contract is broken by the seller. This is called as a breach of warranty. Here, why may claim the compensation? Why may claim for the damages for the breach of contract? But he never reject the contract. He never avoid the contract. Are you getting? Because this is the breach of warranty. A breach of warranty never gives the right to breach of, you can say, contract. So here buyer cannot reject the goods. Are you getting? If any, suppose 1 kg packing is having the cost of rupees 40 rupees and half kg is having the cost of rupees 21 and 21. So 2 rupees extra buyer has to pay. That is the damage to him. So this 2 rupees into whatever he has given the order, he can ask for, he can claim for that particular damages, but he cannot reject the goods. Suppose in a shop, if you went and if you are asking for 1 kg sugar and the shopkeeper is giving half kg two package, can we reject them? Can we say that no, I need only 1 kg pack only, then only I will purchase? So seller can, buyer can manage this. Are you getting? Suppose buyer is also one of the dealer and he is also the shopkeeper. He is buying from the wholesaler and he is doing the retail. So the quantity can be, you can say, it can be divided. The damages he can ask, but he can never reject the goods. This is the difference between condition and warranties. You can come to know. Once again, we will go to the last slide. So this is nature. Condition is of the fundamental nature. Warranty is of the secondary nature. Value, condition is essential to the main purpose. Warranty is a collateral to the main purpose. Breach of condition gives rise to the breach of contract, but breach of warranty never gives the right to breach of contract. Are you getting? And treatment, here breach of condition is treated as a breach of warranty, but breach of warranty never treated as a breach of condition. And here the example is also given. So if you have any queries, just comment in the chat box. I will again clear it in the next lecture. Okay.